So for this episode, we need a spoiler warning.
Okay.
There'll be spoiler warnings for books, movies, TV shows, maybe
Cars.
some video game.
Cars.
Why Cars?
What spoilers there for Cars? It's a Disney movie that everybody's seen.
No, the spoiler on the back of a car.
Jesus Christ, Moreland.
You do not have a spoiler on the back of your piece of shit car.
That doesn't matter. I'm just saying.
You-
Are we
hold
going to talk
on, I'm
about
gonna go
them?
look at his piece of shit car and see what the spoiler is.
Okay.
I'm gonna take my headphones off.
Okay.
Moreland, what the fuck? What? Why do you have the spoiler on your car? Dumbledore is gay. What happened? Why? What?
It happens.
In big, and he wrote it in like the shit. You know how people have like the stick family? That's what he's got.
It's literally a guy in a wizard hat plowed over, getting
I love pepperonis.
bent
Plowed
over,
over.
plowed.
I've got a spoiler alert.
You do, Angie.
TheFreeRotation podcast.
Spoiler. We knew that.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode of The Free Rotation, where we will discuss epic characters and moments in video games, movies, books, so on and so forth, etc.
Oh,
etc.
Forms,
That's what
forms
we're
of
doing?
Media.
That's what we're doing.
Yeah, Moreland, put your car manuals away.
Damn it.
Is that a blue book?
Yeah.
What is that called?
Kelly
The
Blue Book.
Kelly
Kelly
Blue
Blue
Book.
Is that a Kelly Blue Book?
Yeah.
Why couldn't it be like a Molly Blue Book?
Because Kelly invented the
Or
website.
an-
not
Why couldn't
Molly.
it be a blue waffle book?
Oh.
Yeah, nobody.
Is
Don't
that
Google
literally?
that. Don't Google that.
Is that just literally creepy shit from the internet just put in a binder?
Yeah. So these are like iconic scenes or lines from movies, video games, and books that everyone, if you say it, knows exactly what you're talking about, whether they've seen the movie or not. So we've all had movies that we watched and we're like, oh, that scene really touched me. That's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about iconic moments. Like, well, we could go right into it, like the Red Wedding in Game of Thrones.
Okay. To set the precedent for that, because that's a book and a movie spoiler. So you had two different reactions of what happened there. So all the book readers knew what was coming. And let me tell you, it was glorious being a book reader.
Nobody spoiled it.
Nobody did.
No, because they were all waiting on the couch for that fucking reaction video when they all got together. And it's like, I saw you looking it up. It was like, okay, I'm going to film my dad doing this. It's like, all of a sudden, thwack, thwack. You're like, what
There
the
were
fuck?
some completely shocked. Like, that was shocking. And even people who haven't seen Game of Thrones or read the books knows what you mean by the Red Wedding.
And
I don't.
Okay. So what? Hold on.
For the people that don't.
So what happens in
Which
the
I think
Red
on this
Wedding
planet is just you.
is the oldest Stark son,
Rob
Stark. He was supposed to marry this oldest daughter of this family. But he falls in love with this other girl and he decides he's going to marry her instead. So he's building an army to go and take over the kingdom from...
Here you go. It's the spoiler if you want to explain it.
If you get caught.
So they stop there because they want the Tullys to join them. And he also is letting him know, hey, I'm not going to marry your daughter that I promised you I would when you loaned me your men and let me cross your land without killing us and tattling on us.
Which
To
seems like that would,
to the Lannisters.
which seems like that would be a terrible decision to do before the battle.
Yes. Well, because he wanted to be honest. And his mother kept saying, don't do it. You need to marry this girl. After the war, you can do whatever you want. You can keep this other woman as your mistress, but keep your word, because he gave his word as a Stark and as a future king, as a king in the North, that he was going to do this.
And now one of the masterminds of this is Tywin Lannister, and he is the father of Cersei Lannister and Jaime Lannister, who Cersei is the queen of the the realms at this point. Or the Seven Kingdoms, that's right. So what happens is he conspires with Walder Frey to have this happen to him because he knows that disrupting the Stark family and all of this stuff is how he's going to end up being able to
Because
assert
Robb
power.
Stark is the king in the North. They've named him king in the North. He's got so much support behind him. So how are they going to stop him? Well, Walder Frey writes and is like, he's going to stop at my castle. He's a dirty, rotten liar hooker, and Walder Frey is like the worst excuse of a human being
He is.
ever seen. But you don't know that as a viewer or as a book reader. You don't know that this
Mm-hmm.
is conspired and transpired. And so the Starks get there, they have a big feast, and then while they're just eating, they're having fun. Walder Frey gives a speech, and then he makes this hand signal, and suddenly the other guests rise up, these crossbowmen appear, and they just
Annihilate everybody.
the tables flip. It's fucking brutal.
They slice, slit throats. They
cut off heads, and then they
That's a-
leave. What's the Stark mom?
It's Caitlyn.
Caitlin Stark for last, and she sees everything happen, and she's so enraged. And at the very end, he lifts her head up and slits her throat. This is how Arya goes insane because she sees. Well, she doesn't see it. She sees it after.
Isn't there a pregnant woman get stabbed, or am I?
Yeah.
Rob Stark's wife is pregnant.
They cut the baby out. Like, it is gruesome.
Now, in the book, they didn't show it in the show, if I'm not mistaken. But in the book, what happens is they take each Stark child has a wolf, a great wolf.
Mm-hmm. No, they showed it in the
Did
TV
they
series.
show it? I don't know.
No. I think
They cut off Rob Stark's wolf's head and put it on his body.
And they sew it to his body.
And that's what Arya sees. Arya comes up because no one's came home. She's followed them. She comes up. She sees the wolf head on Rob Stark's body and sees her mom dead. So she's just, like, completely fucked up. Now she's seen her dad die. She was the one in the audience who saw him get beheaded.
Mm-hmm.
So, but the Red Wedding was so shocking. Even to Caitlyn. Caitlyn was so angry. She comes back as Lady...
oh, man.
She's basically a revenant, right?
She comes up...
She
She's
does.
a zombie. She's a revenant. And she is only set on revenge. She doesn't give a shit about the ice people coming. I just
White
wish I could
Walkers.
remember names.
White Walkers.
Yeah, she doesn't give a crap about anything. She doesn't
Yeah,
care
she
about
gives-
Cersei.
She's literally a fucking revenant.
They left that out of this show.
She
because
becomes
it's
Lady Stoneheart. She's
Lady
a zombie.
Stoneheart. That's it. Yeah.
Because technically, the White Walkers do resurrect her. The king, the Night King, actually does resurrect her as a.
yeah, but she's different.
White Walker.
She's
Yeah,
different.
that and the
Yeah,
fucking
she's just very
dragon, because
smart.
that's what they needed.
Well, here's the crazy part. Okay, that's a spoiler too, sir. But the thing is,
Wait,
with,
there's dragons?
no.
There's also a naked woman in fire
Well, in Game of Thrones,
and Aquaman.
I think a lot of people forget, like, with the first episode of the first season of Game of Thrones, Ned Stark is set out as the protagonist, and you assume that throughout the entirety of the book series, he's going to be in the books. But end of season 1, head
Okay.
chopped
Oh,
off, that's it, all bets off.
You mean the Sean Bean effect? Because that's
Yeah.
who plays him.
That's the
If Sean Bean's in anything medieval fantasy, don't get attached to
Yeah.
the character. He ain't gonna be there long.
So, as a book reader, we all knew, especially if you didn't, you knew the Red Wedding was coming, but they did such a good job of hiding the fact that this was gonna happen that there are so many reaction videos on YouTube of people watching the scene happen.
I think they've actually done like the Walking Dead does and films multiple things. That way you don't know which one is true. That way if it
Yeah.
does
Yeah,
leak,
that's
it's never...
normal. Yeah.
And speaking of The Walking Dead, there's an iconic scene in Walking Dead. And it was this random scene where it's after the prison where they all go separate ways. Carol, Tyrese?
No. Oh.
I think it's Tyrese.
Tyrese.
And they have the two little girls who are the sisters.
Yes.
And what you don't realize is that the one little girl is just a fucking psychopath.
Yep.
She is literally the definition of a psychopath.
She was feeding mice to the zombies outside the prison.
And that's how, like, what lured them all in. She kept pet zombies. She saw them as people. She didn't see them as any different from anyone else.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's because she was so dead inside. Well, we can go into all that, but
it's not that she was dead inside. It was literally she was a 6-year-old that grew up in the zombie apocalypse, and she didn't have a family because her family died.
And she's a psychopath.
Because
Because her
turned
sister
in-
was fine. Like, they were complete opposites.
Yeah.
The sister was just the sweetest. And they were both cute little girls.
Mm-hmm.
And then to me, the most shocking part wasn't when Carol takes her out and says, "Look at the flowers,"
Just look at
and
the flowers.
shoots her. It's when Carol walks up and finds that she has
She goes,
killed her sister. Where's your sister?
Where's your sister? And she finds
And
out
takes her
she's
out, and
one of
she
them.
doesn't care. She's just, killed her sister.
Well, now I have her forever.
Yeah. So then Carol realizes we have to kill her. She's psychotic. In this world of already absolute craziness, she has far surpassed. She's a different level of crazy.
Yep.
So I thought that was so shocking that,
It was.
and the
was
fact that it was
crazy.
Carol who had to do it because it kind of broke her. Like having
Well,
to
that's one of those
Yeah.
iconic, like, lines, too, whenever you talk about
look at the flowers.
yeah, anything that's about to be really awkward or something that you don't want to see, it's just look at the flowers.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't even seen Walking Dead, and I knew what that was.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's about as.
Well, I called Becky. I was like, I was so upset. I was like in tears. I'm like, you won't believe what just happened.
I mean, it's about as bad as the season 7 opener, when with Negan.
Yeah.
And
that
talking
that
about
was
it-
that was iconic.
Talking about literal impactful characters.
But you knew it was
right?
coming.
You-
Negan is such an impactful character because you may not have watched the show, but you know who Negan is.
Oh yeah, you knew one was coming. You knew somebody was going to die, but
Mhm.
Who was the?
but you didn't know who,
Mm-hmm.
and you didn't know who. And then when Daryl when he kills Abraham and Daryl jumps up and punches him, you're like, okay, well Daryl's going to die now. Nope, he's like, well, I'm going to take another
No.
one,
Mhm.
and beats the living tar out of Glenn.
Now, didn't Glenn
Or the-
die in the comics? Like, that was who ended up...
Negan
Yeah.
killed Glenn in the comics.
Okay.
It just happened a lot sooner than it did in here.
Well, also Abraham never made it out of the prison.
Yeah.
And,
There's
people died in different areas, but
Mhm.
different people took their places in death.
I gotcha.
Like
Okay.
Dale ends up getting eaten by the cannibals instead of dying on the farm, and there is no character of Bob,
Yeah.
the one that gets eaten by the cannibals.
Mm-hmm.
There was a movie that I found so shocking, and it's not impactful in a good way. It just shocked me to the point that I'll never forget it. And that was Last House on the Left, the original and the
Oh,
remake.
Jesus.
Oh, my
It
God.
shocked me so badly. I guess you just, when you read these stories about these terrible things happening to people,
Mm-hmm.
and you don't, it's not, you don't understand it until you watch something like that, or The Burning Bed with Sissy Spacek.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing pretty much happened to her, where her husband does it to her as opposed to a stranger. And I don't want to really get into what happened in the Last House on the Left. There was just a really gruesome rape of 2 girls that is so detailed and like goes on for like 45 minutes. You have there's no shadow of a doubt as to what happened.
There,
To me, when the parents figure out these are the people who killed our daughter, these are the people who did it.
Right.
And then they go, I mean, you were just cheering for them to
Yeah.
murder 5 of these people.
Mm-hmm.
What were you going to say, Scoob?
there's a movie that me and Kayla watched recently, and it has a rape scene in it, kind of thing, or a couple of them. And rape just bothers me to a level that I don't.
Well,
why it's a plot
Mhm.
device? I get why it's a plot device, but why is it a plot device? Yeah, that's what.
Yeah.
And I think we covered this on the Satanic Panic thing. Like, there are certain D&D groups where that shit's fair game, and we are not that group.
Yeah.
Even when I write things, I'm like, I won't say it. I don't like alluding to it, but there was, and it wasn't as brutal as Last House,
Mm-hmm.
but it was pretty fucked up. And I was like, I can't.
Or-
I told Kayla I can't watch the rest of this movie.
There's
I
a
can't
book
do it.
that's been made into a movie called The Lovely Bones.
Oh, God.
And I didn't know what happened. I just knew that a little girl had died and she watched her family. And I didn't realize that
Please
what
don't
happens.
be necrophilia.
It's not.
Okay.
To me, it's worse.
Oh.
She's coming home from school and she took a shortcut through the woods. And this man who lived next door, who she didn't know, because she was too innocent, didn't realize that he.
Why is this becoming a trigger warning podcast?
It is.
We
It
need
is.
to
Well,
find it.
It just happens.
Yeah.
So he's like, I have a secret underground room. Would you like to see it? And she's like, well, yeah. She's 12. Goes under there. He keeps her there. He rapes her until he kills her. And it's all told from her perspective. So every single thing she's thinking and feeling and is happening to her, the author writes it.
Mhm.
I'm telling you, I threw that book across the room. It was on punishment for months.
Oh,
I'm glad I finished it. But she's up in heaven and she's not in heaven yet. She's on the tip of heaven. She hasn't crossed the line into heaven yet. And she's watching her family. And she watches her murderer. And she watches her bones, which are in his backyard. Little pieces of her scattered around. That's why it's called the Lovely Bones. Because they keep finding little pieces of her bones.
Oh.
The more they look for. And her family, it's driving them insane. And then it almost happens to her sister. So that book, it impacted me so much because I didn't expect it. And then for her to be like, I'm 12. I didn't know sex would hurt. I didn't know it would feel like this. You know, why am I dead? I didn't get. And she watches her sister grow up, go to the prom, go on a first date that she never got to have.
Mm-hmm.
But the most impactful thing in that book for me is when she died, her spirit rushes out of her body, and there's a girl walking down the road, and it rushes through the girl, and the girl feels her. So in the book, and I don't know if this happens in the movie, she gets to come back to Earth. She finds a way to push her spirit into that girl's body because they made a connection. The girl knows who she is, so when she comes back, you know, and she's in her body, they're talking to each other, and she kind of takes over. And the girl's like, you can have your first date, your first dance, your first kiss in my body. And it was a beautiful book at the end, but that trauma of the beginning was awful. Okay, we're going to switch up.
Yeah, because we need something.
Man, I was going to talk about how Cersei Lannister was a bitch, but I think... Yeah.
Is that the one who goes... Tell her it was me. Is that
no? That's
I've not seen
better
enough Game of
character.
Thrones.
That was a better character. But
the
okay, there's a movie, and see if this sounds familiar.
Please tell me you didn't. You picked. It's not another depressing movie because the last time you spoke, it got really dark.
But this part was funny.
Okay.
He is an IRA freedom fighter, and he kidnaps an English soldier who tells him all about this wonderful girlfriend he has. Well, he inadvertently leads to the soldier getting killed, even though they became friends. He goes and he finds the girlfriend, and he falls in love with her. She's really hot. After a while, they get to know they're going to have sex. I know all that there is to know about the crying game. Penis pops out. Have you guys never seen the crying game?
Is that the one where
not.
I think, okay, I don't know if that's the game, but...
It's called The Crying Game.
No, there's a movie, and the ending scene of it freaks me out because it's a girl. Or no, the person portrays himself as a girl. It turns out it's a dude. And she's standing there naked with a knife. She's like, ah.
No. I know exactly what you're talking about, and that's terrifying.
Yeah, I don't know.
No, Crying Game was he was about to have sex with this girl.
That's why I think
he's undressing her, and he's completely in love, and she thought that he knew she had a penis, that she was a hermaphrodite. I
remember now.
Showing him genitals.
That's why it crossed the streams in my head. That's why.
Mm-hmm. Another one that was pretty good was, and Scoob, you mentioned this one's Friday the 13th, when you find out at the end who the real killer is.
Mm-hmm.
So we know Jason was at a camp when he was 6. He drowns. And but then you're like, oh, he must have come back as a revenant because he's out killing people.
But at the end, it turns out it's
Jason's mom has stabby.
Hey,
but then then in the second movie he does come back, and then it starts.
In the second movie,
it became the revenant
portion
because
of it,
his mom gets killed, which triggers him to come back as a revenant
and keep her fucking body in a damn.
I had Becky watch this next movie with me, and it kind of startled you because it's Quentin Tarantino. It's Quentin Tarantino, and it's called Death Race.
Love Death Race.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
I love Death Race.
The way it switches up, and they become the
or Death Proof.
Death Proof. That's it.
Death Proof.
Oh no, yeah, Death Race. Okay,
yeah.
Death Proof.
I'm sorry, Death Proof, not Death Race.
Yeah, I was like, why is she triggered by Death Race?
No, Death Proof.
Death Proof.
So what happens is Kurt Russell has this car that's death proof for him, but not for the women he picks up.
Right.
So at the beginning, in typical Quentin Tarantino fashion, you're following a girl who ends up getting killed in a horrific car crash that he perpetuates.
3 or 4 of them.
Yeah.
Isn't Rosario Dawson in this movie?
Yes.
I've seen it, but I haven't seen it.
So those girls get killed, and then there's another group of girls that you don't know yet. It's kind of like in From Dusk Till Dawn, where suddenly it's vampires.
Right. He's
and you're just like, holy shit balls, her jaw just unhinged.
I would like to point out Tarantino has like the worst shit with surprises.
Like Pulp Fiction, where suddenly they're in a sadist lair being, tortured and raped. And the big, black, vicious guy is raped right in front of Bruce Willis.
I still think my favorite part of that is like, blah, 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 blah. I was just talking to her.
He's like, what do you think? Oh, you went over him up.
But in Death Proof,
oh yeah.
In Death Proof, he kills the one set of girls in the car crash. One of them's a radio DJ and everything, and he's giving Rose McGowan a ride home. And he gets to a stoplight, and he's like, so which way are you going, right or left? Well, she's like, I'm to the right. Well, if you were saying you were going to the left, this would be a lot less scary. But now it's going to get scary because I'm going to the left.
Yeah, and he just speeds up.
And
he kills him by wrecking his car, which is death proof for him, but not for whoever's in the passenger seat.
Right. Or anybody in the other car or anything like that.
Well, the movie goes on, and it's another group of girls, one of which is Rosario Dawson. He's after them.
Yeah, he's recovered from the last accident, and he's rebuilt his car. He's a stunt driver.
Right.
And
I've seen the movie, yeah.
So there's a stunt woman that's
of
with Rosario Dawson. There's an actual stunt woman who's in a lot of Tarantino films, and I can't remember the other two.
It's the one that stays behind is
looking at the car, the quote unquote.
Yeah, they take a car out, and it's two of them, and they wanna play a game while in the car. Basically, they take their belts, strap them to the doors, and she rides on the hood.
Yeah. Well, suddenly he starts chasing them, and she ends up getting thrown into the brush, which she survives.
She bounces up like a bunny. She's like, I'm okay.
Yep, that was one of my favorite. They're like, oh my god, I'm okay, because it's in tall grass. She's like, I'm okay. Hold on.
And then since he thought he at least killed their friend because she was on the hood of the car and got flung off. No, she's fine.
So they're all scared, nervous, and oh my god! And finally, they're like, you know what? Fuck this.
Let's go beat the shit out of this guy.
Let's go beat the hell out of. So they turn the tables and they go after him.
Yeah, because I think they pull him from the car and just
That's
fucking
right,
destroy
because he's
him.
only death proof in the car.
Only death proof in the car.
Yeah,
once they get him out, I mean,
they eventually wreck his car, and he climbs out,
and they just beat him to death.
Just start. That's how the movie ends. They're just
with the baseball.
Shit out.
They have a baseball bat.
They just start punching and kicking the shit out of him. One of them wraps the belt around their hand.
Yeah,
they're just beating the shit out of him.
And it was such an unusual turn when Rosario was like, you know what? Why are we scared and running? We outnumber him. We're in a faster car.
Mm-hmm.
So it
was like night and day because their car was white and his was black. So
you know what I don't think you'll have on the list. So we all know Rob Zombie's one of my favorite directors. His House of a Thousand Corpses and Devil's Rejects. The end of Devil's Rejects. Fuck, I can't listen to Freebird without seeing that fucking.
It's insane.
Because you're like, okay, they survived all this shit. They've survived all the. And it's just, so Dopey is going to be fucking. It's the shootout. So if you haven't seen it, they just go careening into the fucking police barricade as Freebird is playing and bah, bah, bah.
So Edward Norton's been in a lot of movies with a lot of epic plot twists, like very iconic, which Fight Club. Everybody knows the line, first rule of Fight Club, you don't talk about Fight Club. And then to find out that he is Tyler Durden. Tyler Durden. They're the same people. That was crazy. And then how he killed Tyler Durden.
And also how they made the soap. Ugh.
What's that smell? Like, that's, as Tyler Durden's dying.
I like if you watch the movie and you pause it at certain frames, you can actually see Tyler Durden in the freeze frame, which I think is pretty cool.
Yeah, because remember Tyler's thing, he splices in porn and like kids movies and stuff or whatever it is, just a frame to see if people catch it.
That's pretty cool. I didn't know about that.
No, it's one of the first things that, because Tyler's a projectionist, one of the first things he learns about Tyler is he just puts a little blink and you miss it thing. So they actually do that in the
kind of like subliminal messaging.
That's cool.
But like one part they're in the hospital, and if you freeze it on a certain frame, you can see him. You can see him just standing there.
Oh, that's neat and
just
creepy.
chilling.
That's like It Follows.
Oh yeah.
Well, he was in another movie called Primal Fear with Richard Gere.
Oh yeah.
And remember the plot twist at the end, which was so shocking. Primal Fear, it's this really nice, quiet Christian boy. And he's accused of murder. He's murdered a priest. He's an altar boy. He's murdered a priest.
This one. Okay, yeah, I remember now.
Richard Gere is trying to figure out, what happened? What made you snap? Dude, he's like, I didn't do this. I have no memory of doing this. And he calls it losing time. He's lost time. And then suddenly his second personality comes out and it's just a vicious, horrific older guy. He's like, that motherfucker deserved it, blah, 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 blah. So Richard Gere's trying to get him to come out in court, get this side of him to come out. So he kind of lays a hint to the DA about, you should question him about this. Well, she's just going in on him. She wants to prove, because he put him on the stand just for this to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So as she's walking away, he suddenly switches and he's like, "You stupid bitch, blah, blah, blah."
Yeah, because he breaks into that, "You dumb ass," like very country, like.
So of course everybody's like, holy shit, he is insane. He has multiple personalities. Well, at the very end of the movie, Richard Gere is so pleased to have gotten him off
he
the
got a
death
not
sentence.
guilty plea because of reason of insanity.
And he's just like, I'm so happy. And then the guy says, "You're brilliant." He's like, "That's the smartest thing you could ever do." And then he's like, the fake person was that sweet kid you met. This has always been me. And he was just a
it's
psychopath.
like Johnny Lee Cobb or some dumb.
Yeah.
He just turned out that he was not crazy. He didn't have
still-
a second personality. He just enacted having a second personality.
It's
That
still
was the
not
nice
good.
guy.
Was it the usual Kaiser Soze?
Yes.
Yeah, from
Usual
Usual
Suspects.
Suspects.
Oh my gosh.
That's such a good one too.
Like,
Yeah.
you just don't think Kevin
'Cause-
Spacey
And then
is...
he's
Oh
gone.
no, Kevin Spacey
And-
is an absolute fucking psychopath.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love Kevin Spacey.
Like when you think
Not
about
recently,
iconic scenes and opening scenes, the plastic bag at the beginning of American Beauty, where he's a plastic bag floating up,
Oh
like-
yeah.
and then the red balloon and the girl in the red coat in Schindler's List. Like these things are just iconic.
I was just thinking of the red balloon from It.
Yeah, the red
Yeah.
balloon from It.
I still think I remember the first time I watched American Beauty. I was like, "Sweet, I get to jerk off to this," and then it's like,
and then it's just the darkest, most interesting.
"Oh no!" When the
awesome movie.
when the military dad happens, you're like, "Oh, that was on that
Oh,
was
that was shocking.
Spoiler alert: the military dad in that movie fucking kisses Kevin Spacey, and you're like, "Oh,"
because he's so
I-
like, you
'cause-
fag, you're homo. You
yeah,
da-da-da-da-da-da."
he's such a repressed homosexual. That
Oh
you just-
yeah.
Oh my god, I haven't thought about that particular
Well,
plot twist in forever.
Here's a funny one. The Help. We all know you was kind, you was smart, you was important. But what about Eat My Shit?
I don't remember this movie.
Well, it was a chick flick.
Oh,
That's why.
But The Help is set in 1950s,
Mhm.
1950s America.
1960s-ish, yeah.
Yeah, right after the civil rights movement. It has really gotten a good start. And there's like a really progressive white girl who they have help. So
Mm-hmm.
pretty much the black people are the help. And there's this one girl who is so awful to her housekeeper, but she always makes her chocolate pies. Well, she ends up firing her for some supposed
Yep, there you go.
some
Eat my
supposed
shit.
crime. And so she sees her out and about. She's like, "I really want you to make me a chocolate pie like you used to." And she's like, "You will make me a chocolate pie." So she makes her a chocolate pie, but she puts her shit in it. So she brings it over, and the woman's just, this is what she's. So she gets to the end, and the lady's like, "I just have one thing I want to tell you: eat my shit." It's pretty. That's pretty iconic.
That's
It's impactful.
That's
there's
disgusting.
also the
It is, yeah.
then there's the TV like South Park,
Mm-hmm.
like Kenny's face, or it was the movie Kenny's face reveal,
Yeah.
and then Scott Tenorman, where Cartman gets a kid to eat his own parents.
yes. That was great.
I love Cartman. That is one.
Have
vicious
you
little
seen
boy.
that episode?
Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
So Becky, have you seen this episode?
I've heard of it.
Yeah,
so-
you talked about it before.
Okay, he gets him to eat his fucking
Mhm.
parents. What the fuck?
Right?
And by the way, he's 8, so it's okay. Like, what
Yeah. Fucking South Park.
He admitted in front of the whole town that like he committed this horrible crime, and like the next week, it's like, "Hi guys, I'm in school."
Right.
What
Mhm.
the fuck?
Well, do any of you watch 24?
I have, but
Mhm.
not enough to
I
be.
haven't.
In the first season, it's about Jack.
Yeah.
And he has Nina is his right-hand guy. Well, right-hand woman, person.
Are 8 hours of that just like really boring because it's him sleeping?
I swear to God, I did.
8 episodes of just him sleeping.
No, for
He wakes up to get a glass of milk
or
to get
pee.
a cookie.
for a minute.
You
I
just
thought
hear his boner going up and down.
for the first like 30 seconds of that bit, I thought that he actually meant like the first season or whatever was 8 hours worth, and I was like, huh? And then I was like, oh, I'm a
But it
fucking
was
moron.
24 hours. 24 episodes of an hour each. But it turns out at the very end that Nina, who was one of the favorite characters on that show, is the bad guy. That was incredibly shocking. I watched this. And I had no idea because she's cleared in the first episode. In that very first episode, he's like, this has to be somebody with absolute knowledge, and other than me, it's her. So, but she gets cleared, and
Turns out he was this close.
yeah. Now,
The season finale of Dexter was it wasn't iconic. It was so iconic in the fact that it was so terrible.
anti-
The series
Climactic.
finale.
Yeah, the series finale.
yeah,
it's just,
yeah, yeah.
It was just the fact that it was so terrible. It's just like, but
But
why?
But talking about series finales, there's two that I think are iconic. It's the Seinfeld series finale because they're both all locked up because they've just been terrible people for so long.
They've been terrible people for the entire
They-
run
And they're
of the
in
show.
a cosmic prison.
Yeah, and then The Sopranos.
Oh my god! If you didn't say Sopranos, I was gonna.
The Sopranos, like, because it's such an ambiguous ending, you get to the end and you're just like, what is the... Obviously,
Well,
Tony
Tony
Soprano's going to
Soprano's
die.
dead, yeah.
he shouldn't have made it. He
Yeah,
should be.
and
And all of
then
a sudden, you hear,
You're shot. End.
yeah, you hear like the bell ding, and then black.
But that had to end that way because the actor died.
No, the show had way ended before
Yeah, he was
that.
way.
Yeah.
Gandolfini died
Yeah.
well.
Yeah,
after.
but the thing was, like, it was... I think they said they wanted to keep it ambiguous because it's like his life. You don't...
Yeah, he was
there's
never an out and out bad guy.
like,
but
he was never
not
a bad
good
guy, but he wasn't a good guy.
He
so
was a tweener. in
it
wrestling
needed to be
terms.
ambiguous.
Well, talking about TV shows, and I know this is before your guys' time, but you remember Facts of Life?
I do.
I remember hearing of the show, but I don't
Take the
know.
good, you take the bad.
It was like a woman and eight
The
girls.
Facts of
and
Life.
Four girls with a foster mother. So the oldest one's name is Natalie. There's Natalie, Tootie, Joe, and Blair.
Yep.
And they're all about the same age, but the one that's just a little bit older is Natalie. And she's the one who is like the mother figure other than the housekeeper.
Yeah.
But she's like always like wants everything to be good. And she was tutoring a guy who happened to be her boyfriend. And, they were kind of arguing a bit, and because he wanted to have sex and she didn't. And he ends up raping her on the couch. And that was so, especially being young like I was and not really understanding what was going on, to see her beaten up, crying, devastated, and to kind of have an idea of what just happened, that was very shocking.
Especially for the time it came out. And it
Oh,
wasn't something
yes.
you saw every time on
and
the
you
TV.
didn't expect, this was a comedy, this was a sitcom.
Right.
Fuck.
Like most TV shows, they didn't even hint on that. Like back
No,
in the
Yeah.
day.
no.
Like even if they had a bedroom
Oh.
scene with the parents were in two separate beds.
Yeah.
They didn't even allude that the
Or
parents
very-
had
This was
sex.
even more shocking than on, what's the name of it? Not Webster, but what you talking about, Willis? With the bicycle shop owner
Oh,
who
yeah,
molested the boys. Oh, gosh.
Fuck. Not
Different
Webster.
Strokes?
Yes.
Different
Strokes.
Yes.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
I mean, these just came out of nowhere. Of course, at the beginning of that one, they're like, parents, sit down and watch this with your kids and then have a conversation about
Child
stranger
molestations.
danger.
Stranger danger.
And also talking about television, to get back to the sad. The series finale of MASH.
I don't want to do it. I think we
Angie
talked.
wouldn't let me tell. Like,
I think
tell me
we've talked
explain
about it a little bit, but I don't want to do
Yeah.
it. Angie, I don't want to do this.
We're doing it, Scoob. We have to
Hold me.
because yes, MASH was really it was a really long running show. You knew these characters.
It's iconic.
And at the end of the Korean War, everyone else goes home except what's his face?
Klinger.
Klinger's, but it's not Klinger that's in the mental institution. It's the main guy,
No, Hawkeye gets out.
Hawkeye.
It's
It's Hawkeye.
No, but he gets out in that because it's a two.
Well, he gets out after.
Yeah, it's in the
but
first.
He's not home yet, and he keeps trying to go home, and they're like, "Well, you can't go home yet. We need to talk about it." And he's like, "Talk about what? Talk about what?" I was on a bus, and we thought they were coming. They told us all to be quiet.
The Chinese or the North Koreans
yeah,
or whatever.
the Koreans were coming, and he's like, "We just wanted to get to the plane and get home." And he's like, "I was so close, and this woman wouldn't stop this chicken from making noise."
Oh my god, I got it now. I'm catching
and
up.
he's talking about the chicken. And they're like, and what else happened? He's like, what else do you want me to say? And then he's like, I didn't know it was a baby. I just wanted it to shut up.
What happened is she smothered her own baby.
Because he kept telling her, shut that fucking chicken up. But it was a baby.
And
she killed it. Out of fear of him, not the Koreans. And he had to live with that.
And and it was also to prove that Hawkeye, who was the jokester, who the war never really got to in that way, it got to him.
It broke him.
Because Hot Lips Houlihan was on the bus too, so she knew what had happened. She knew what the problem was. So that's why the
people were asking her, and she just wouldn't say
right,
anything.
Right. And she's just like that. But she knew why he was in there and that he needed to get this off.
That's when you just get off the fucking bus. You're like, I gotta get off this bus.
Surrounded by Koreans who will shoot you on sight.
And it was the last day the U.S. was pulling out. He was just trying to get home.
Man, knock his ass out. Kick him in the head. Not even...
I mean, at that time, like,
Oh, I know. I'm saying,
Mhm.
like, the only answer to that to me would be, like, you need to, like, knock him out.
Which was
But the show would like flashback as he's talking about it.
to
The
that.
show went to the flashback, and you could see her sitting there holding a chicken, and then
But
at the
then
very end,
right
it
before
morphs
the
into
baby-
this dead
right-
baby.
Right before the baby reveal,
He
it
just
slow pans to a baby, and he's like, "Shut that baby up!" And then it pans back to he suddenly realized
and
it wasn't
he
a
just has
chicken.
this breakdown. It's
It's
such
Alan Alda.
fantastic
Alan
acting.
Alda's crying might be the
and
most.
he was like, I didn't know it was a baby. I didn't know. I just wanted to be quiet. I wanted to live.
I thought the Red Wedding was bad.
This was the fucking.
So sad because there's been some stuff that happened, and Hawkeye's character was a good friend of theirs died one time.
Colonel Blake.
Yeah.
That
And
fucking part of the.
They were operating trying to save him, but he still had a joke. Even though he was sad and stuff, he still had kind of a joke. Like, they're still upbeat.
Well, that whole last 2 hour series
Oh,
finale.
God, it was...
That whole 2 hours is just a fucking kick in the dick. Klinger, who'd spent the entirety of the entire trying to go home,
wanted to stay.
had to stay because the woman he ended up falling in love with was staying to look for a family.
Yeah.
Father Mulcahy, the priest who had been listening to everybody's problems and had one or two of his own, ended up being near a grenade going off and losing his hearing, so he can't hear. And what happens when BJ, Honeycutt, Hawkeye's best friend, like, he thinks his marriage is either going to hell or gone to hell. I
Right.
forget what.
And Hot Lips and the guy finally... Well, she was going back to try and work things out with her husband instead of getting back with... Like, staying with the guy that she had met in Korea who was so in love with her.
Mm-hmm.
But she was like, I'm
And
gonna...
fucking
She
Charles,
went back to her husband.
fucking Charles, who
Was he in charge?
he a couple
No,
times
I
actually
just-
was. No, he was very above it all. He always had
Mhm.
like Beethoven's symphony playing on the record
Yeah.
player on the.
And he was in love with Hot
Well,
Lips.
there
who
were
ran.
some. There were some. No, that was Frank Burns.
Oh, yeah.
There were some POWs that were that were playing music, and he taught them how to with the Korean instruments play Beethoven.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's an attack in a POW camp or during a transfer, and the only one of those musicians who doesn't get instantly killed, Charles sees, and they're like, and everyone's like, oh, they were rival POWs, and Charles, who up to this point had really just been like, he'd been like Hawkeye, this kind of stoic and just things would rock him, but not to that. It's like, he was a musician. He was a musician. So in the middle of this triage and all this hell going, Charles takes his gloves off and goes and sits in his tent in his surgical gear and just
And
listens
that's
to
it.
the song he'd been
Yeah.
teaching him.
That's...
And then at the end of it, he's
Mhm.
like, I'm out of
So
here.
the show had its serious moments, but it was always pretty funny. And then you get to the series finale, and it's just like, I want to kill myself.
Because there's a couple episodes where because it was a war drama that would include a laugh track, which
Right.
was really weird at the time.
Yeah.
But the episodes that didn't include the laugh track, you're like, oh, this is
Uh-oh.
fucking... Like, even today, I think that series stands up.
Mm-hmm.
If you can take 2 hours and watch the series finale of MASH...
It's you don't have to watch any of the show just to watch that. It's fantastic. It's like the episode The Body and Buffy.
Right.
It was so just holy crap.
You're like, oh,
What
we're
happened?
gonna
Just
hit you with
out of
this
nowhere.
right here.
Yeah. Well, let's get back to movies. What about Planet of the Apes? The original with Charlton Heston at the very
You
end.
did
Which
it.
everybody knows now. Like, everybody knows it.
Mhm.
But it's like,
You did it. You bastards did
You
it.
blew
You blew
it up.
like, it just turns out that the Planet of the Apes was
Because
the
he
Earth
wakes
the entire
up-
time.
He was put onto like a long, far-reaching space mission. He wakes up. He lands on a planet that's ape-controlled. He has no way to know that he's landed on Earth.
Until the end when he...
When he
sends-
runs
they-
into
they-
the Statue of Liberty, half buried in the sand.
Yeah, because there's no
Mhm.
there's no identifying marks. There's no
No,
and
Oh, it's just
remember
that.
the one, not a, I can't remember what those monkeys. Is it an orangutan? Tells him, you really don't want
Dr.
to know.
Zayas.
Yeah, he's like, you don't want to know what's out there. And he's like, well, it's better than being here. And it's like, no.
No.
As it would turn out, no.
Okay, guys. Now I want to run through some iconic lines from movies and have you guys see if you know what they're from.
Oh, fuck.
Here we go.
I don't know.
Yeah, you probably do. Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
Casablanca.
That is
No.
definitely not it. It's
Oh, what
definitely
am I-
Gone with the Wind.
Oh, I fucking hate that movie.
What's in the box? What's in the box?
7.
Oh, God. Every time.
And
What's in
Borderlands
the
2.
box?
Yeah.
Oh, wait. By the way, fuck that movie. Because at the very end, he's like, don't do it, perfect. Shit, he shot it.
It's Schrodinger's box.
Mm-hmm. And I see dead people.
Sixth Sense.
Also, fuck that
But
movie because you have to
also-
watch it a second time.
That's
to appreciate it.
iconic.
Yeah.
That to me was the that
It
perpetuated the first debate of a
Mhm.
horror movie.
Oh,
Did you say
yeah,
jabate?
totally.
It
Yeah.
sounded like you said
Jabate.
jabate.
Debate.
It's a Twitch meme.
It's a Twitch
Oh.
meme. Yeah. Like when you say you've been baited, basically. Like
Oh.
nobody expected it that Bruce Willis was the one that was dead the entire time until you go back and you watch the
and
movie
you're like,
and you're
you
like,
can't open the door handle.
Bruce Willis was dead the entire
Yeah.
time.
yeah.
Yes.
Can you believe that?
No, and then,
But then you, like,
don't
watch-
they actually
You
also at the
kind
end
of get
go
an idea
through
when
it?
the little boy says, "I see dead people," and they don't know they're dead. That's like a big clue.
Yeah, but he says it in such a way where other shit's going on. I
But
don't
you
think you
start,
think
yeah,
about
and
it.
you start watching it. If you watch it again, you see that his wife never
Well, no, I
acknowledges
thought it
their.
was-
When she's like, "Happy anniversary," and she leaves,
Oh,
she never.
that-
Well, no,
looked
I thought
him.
at the end they actually kind of went through a little bit and showed every scene. Where
Yeah.
it, was
It
key
does,
but it's so much
if
more
you go back
impactful
and watch it,
knowing
you're
it.
like, "Oh, it was there the whole time." Kind of like the others,
Yeah.
where so when you get to the end and you realize she's the ghost and she's living with a modern family, like the stuff they're hearing and seeing.
That's like the end of Odd Thomas.
No,
that shut.
Nobody talks about Odd Thomas.
I've never seen you shut anyone down that fast.
And I've never.
Right?
that's my favorite book series. But even Becky, that first
the movie.
the movie was good too. Oh God, I can't.
Don't talk about it. I read the book and I was done.
Don't tell me because
Okay.
Yeah,
We-
don't.
I
Just
guess-
watch the movie. Just watch the movie.
The movie was
No,
really good.
we need to talk about it because Moreland's right. That is, if
It's-
you've ever read the book or watched it, you can't forget that.
right, it's
So he's been getting these premonitions the whole book or movie,
he's like the kid in Sixth Sense. He sees dead people.
and they can't speak to him, but they're always like making symbols and signs to show him what they're talking about.
And it's an apocalyptic event that's
And he
going to occur.
sees like the Mothman, like he sees Mothman, like these black figures that
the shadow
gather,
people.
they gather around when something horrible is about to happen, and he's where he usually sees tens and something awful happens, he's seeing thousands.
Yeah.
Hundreds of thousands.
So
It's
he
just
knows something's about to happen.
a catastrophic event.
And he figures it out. It was a mall shooter.
Yeah.
It was going to be a shooting, and they were going to
Mhm.
blow up the mall.
Yeah.
His girlfriend works at the mall.
So
Yeah.
he goes at the end, and in his mind, he saved her name's Misty.
I thought it was Stormy.
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 Stormy Llewellyn.
which is
Yeah.
actually just the evolution of Misty.
And he
Wait.
saves Misty,
Yeah.
and
Stormy.
Just the
and he
bigger
and
weather
Stormy
event.
have been dating for years. Odd is super, super innocent.
They're going to get married. They're going to do all this stuff.
Yeah, so
So-
he finally
But
they
then-
consummate, this like 10-year relationship they had because she was abused and he never wants to push it on to her.
Exactly.
And they always talk about getting married, but in the future, because Stormy's kind of hard to nail down and Odd's just super patient.
His name is Odd Thomas, and he sees dead people.
His literal name is Odd. Not
Well-
Todd or anything. Odd.
So in the book and the movie, he wakes up one morning and he goes out and this is after the shooting and stuff.
Well, this
And
is
he's
after shooting.
recovered.
He in the movie she works at ice cream shop, and the ice cream shop gets shot up, and
But she
she
mysteriously
ducks behind
survives.
she ducks behind the counter, and he
He's
takes
able
out
to take out the gunman.
he takes out the gunman, and he looks over at the counter,
And she
she stands up and waves to him. You don't
Mhm.
hear her say anything.
And even at the end of the movie, when she's making him breakfast, she's not speaking to him.
They're
And then-
hanging out,
And then
they're-
finally-
they're being all sweet.
Yeah.
And
Then finally, one of his friends finally says, Odd.
You need to let her go.
You have to
It-
let
it-
her
yeah.
go.
Yeah, it's
And it
because
turns-
it's her spirit.
It's her spirit, and she
And-
can't cross over.
And Stormy was one of those best characters.
I cried.
You just love
I
her.
cried so hard.
I cried. I'm like,
I already
no.
knew it was going to
Moreland?
happen.
The next rotation, we're watching that
Can I
one.
switch?
Oh.
Can I switch up to scary movie for this movie?
Yeah.
No, me and Moreland have to both watch this movie, and whoever cries first has to get waxed.
No, you're still watching
Fuck.
It Follows.
Oh, speaking of sad things, what about in My Girl when he dies because he got stung by a bee?
Oh, don't
Yeah.
talk about
And you
that.
don't expect it.
Isn't that the one
Hey.
with Melissa Joan Hart?
No.
No.
No, this is like
What am I thinking of?
the Home Alone kid.
Macaulay
Macaulay
Culkin?
Culkin.
No, it's
Yeah.
the other kid that looks like Macaulay Culkin.
Oh, I thought it was
Hey,
Macaulay
Auntie.
Culkin. What?
Brontosaurus.
Stop.
In what?
Nothing.
In the new Jurassic Park, and
I-
this is a huge spoiler alert. So they go back to the island.
Is
to
it a baby
save-
Brontosaurus?
Don't talk about it.
I'm talking about it.
They
They go back to the island that the volcano's about to blow up on, and they're saving as many dinosaurs as they can.
Which seems like
And,
a bad
uh,
decision.
Of course, they were set up by a horrible guy. So they get on this boat and they're leaving just as the volcano explodes the whole island. And then through the ash and smoke and fire, there's one little spot on the dock, and there's a brontosaurus standing there, and he's kind of like, I don't know where the fuck to go. And he's super cute, and he's sad. And then you see the fire coming up behind him, and it engulfs him, and then he stands up like he's trying to fight the fire, and he's trying to get on the boat, and then it's just gone. It's so sad. It's like a freaking 2-minute long scene.
Well, I'm not okay now.
Because it was literally like, he's like, can you come get me? Like, can you come back? He's just standing there, and he's like, hello? And never mind, I'm done. I'm
going to go home and cuddle my dogs tonight.
Well, and going into a newer horror movie, Hereditary.
Oh my God.
There's a scene in that movie that you will never forget.
Let me tell you something. This movie has been one of the most impactful horror movies I have seen in years. And it's divisive at this point.
I watched there's a channel called Found Flicks, and they do endings explained, and that's what I do so I can like not be scared by the horror movies Kayla has. I watched the
Hereditary wasn't so much scary
until
as it
the
just
third
fucked
act
with your head.
Yeah, until the third act when it got scary.
That's an interesting choice of words, Angela.
Yeah, it does. So she's kind of a weird little kid. She's yeah, she makes this noise.
Yeah, she builds shit.
Yeah.
But cuts heads off birds.
But she's autistic. You can tell she's on the autistic spectrum.
There's a reason for that.
And then, so he takes her to a party with him. Their mom is like, take her to this party with you. And he's like, they're good kids. They go to the party, and he likes this girl, and he wants to go into a room with her and smoke weed and, try and seduce her. So he tells her, go make friends. There's chocolate cake over there. Go get some. She only eats sweets.
Mm-hmm. But she has a peanut allergy.
And what he didn't know was that they had just chopped up peanuts and used the same knife to cut the cake. Well, she has a reaction to it. And she comes to get him, and he's rushing her to the hospital.
I believe this scene happens fairly early in the movie.
About like
midway.
An hour mid.
About midway. So she's suffocating. It shows her in the back as the allergy progresses, and she's suffocating to death. So she rolls the window down and sticks her head out because she's trying to breathe. She's literally probably about a minute from death at this point. Mm-hmm. Except she reaches it much sooner because he's flying down these desert roads. Her head's out, and there's a deer in the road, and he swerves to miss it. And
just so happens there's a pole right there.
And her head flies off like a freaking basketball. Becky, of course, is hiding her head against me at this point.
I'd like to point out that the whole removal of heads is a plot device in this entire movie.
So he sits there, and, he's in absolute shock. He can't look at her in the backseat. You know she's dead. The body's just slumped. You don't see anything
at first. Yeah, it's just...
The body's just slumped. And then...
He goes, are you okay?
And she doesn't answer. And he just slowly lets up off the brake pedal, and drives home in, like, this crawl. He gets there, he parks the car, and you can still see the slumped body over the back window. Doesn't really focus on it. And he goes inside, and he just lays down in bed.
And goes to sleep.
No, he didn't go to sleep.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
His eyes were open the whole night. In the morning, he hears his mom get up, and she's like, I'm going to go get some balsa wood. Do you need anything? And she goes down to the car, and then scream. And later on, she describes it. She goes down to get in her car, and there's just black sticky blood everywhere.
But the most jarring thing about this moment is that it cuts to the scene of her head.
Well, after the mom finds the body in the morning, it cuts to her head by the telephone pole off the side of the road, and, like, her lips gone. Pretty much her skin has been ripped off, and she's covered in ants.
Yeah.
And it is shocking.
It went because at this point in the movie, you have, like, if you've seen any trailers for it, you have no idea what it's about. You're pretty sure it's kind of going to be like...
You think it's her mom's ghost or something going to haunt them.
No, I thought it was a Carrie type situation.
Yeah, or the little girl was something messed up.
They led you to believe it was something to do with the little girl.
It did, but not in the situation.
It's not what you think. Yeah, no, I watched the ending explained on this too. I'm not watching this fucking movie.
Yes, you are.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
We won't tell you what was with the little girl.
Oh no, I know what's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
That way, I'm not terrified.
Oh, you know what? Well, let's come off of this and talk about.
Can we get happy stuff now?
Well,
please?
It's not happy, but it is iconic. This is my weapon. This is my gun. This is for killing. This is for fun.
Mm-hmm. That's still pretty.
Yeah, Full Metal Jacket.
Oh yeah.
I don't think Becky's ever seen that, but I think you should because.
R.I.P. Ralph Lee Emery, by the way.
Yeah. Okay, another. I remember my mom telling me a story about back in the 70s when Jaws first came. They hadn't really had many horror movies. They'd had like Rosemary's Baby and stuff, but nothing like Jaws.
Right.
Yeah, because Jaws could really happen.
And it shocked people. They walked out of the theater saying, movies like this will never, blah, blah, blah. It's the devil. But we need a bigger boat.
We need a bigger boat.
I think we need a bigger boat.
Okay.
Does anybody know the name of the boat?
No.
I do
Isn't it-
know it, but I can't think of it.
What is it?
Moby Dick, right? Orca.
Orca.
Orca, yeah.
Yeah, because
Okay.
it defends. Oh my god, because it defends from Great White.
Yeah, that's what
the joke.
Yeah.
So, what about this line? Hello, Clarice.
Sounds
That
like-
fucking movie. That movie. That movie.
Mhm.
I literally used that movie to figure out what Spider-Maning was, and I'm sad that I learned.
Well, here's a newer one, and I know that you haven't seen it, but you'll still, Mr. Stark. I don't feel so good.
Oh.
I'm not ready to go yet.
Oh no, I know what it's from because you said Stark,
Eh.
and you looked right at me when you said it, so it's not a hard
Mr.
pickup.
Stark, I don't feel so good.
And then he says, "I'm not ready to go yet." As he's like a head and an arm. Ugh.
That's been the best meme lately.
Okay. Play it again, Sam. You said it earlier.
Oh, Casablanca.
Casablanca.
That's the one you picked.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good one.
Luke, I am your father.
That's more Yoda.
Isn't
than
that
Vader.
yeah. I was about. Isn't that Yoda just saying?
Listen, when you got a voice like this, you can't really get Darth Vader.
And it would be
Luke,
it'd be
I am your father.
if it was Yoda saying it, it'd be your father. I am Luke.
Your father.
Well,
Your father. Your father.
Your father. Okay, this was good. I feel the need for speed.
Top Gun.
Yeah.
I hate that movie.
Shirtless volleyball.
You
Becky, hello.
suck.
Hello.
My name is Inigo Montoya.
You killed my father.
Prepare
Prepare
to
to
die.
die.
I
Princess
still
Bride.
think. I still
Princess
think the
Bride.
other most iconic line from that. You keep using that word. I don't think you know what it
I
means.
don't think you know what that means. That whole movie.
Conceivable.
That whole movie is quotable.
Oh, I love boo.
Also, like,
Oh,
Tis-
you think they'll survive? Not a chance. Have fun
Ah,
storming the castle.
have fun storming the castle.
No, wait.
Wait, or also pretty iconic. Tis but a scratch.
Yeah, just by the scratch.
Here's another one I bet you don't have. Call a locksmith. Call a locksmith. Robin Hood men in tights.
Yeah.
Tights.
You roll around the forest looking for. I'm sorry.
Power of Christ compels you.
The Exorcist.
Every time I have sex with a goth girl. What?
Oh, well, there we go. And then, of course, life is like a box of chocolates.
I love that
Or if
fucking
you ever
movie.
hear, my mama always said,
Life like a box.
Forrest Gump.
I
We
still think-
sat over there in Savannah.
I
we
still,
were sitting
I
over
still
there.
think my
Yeah.
favorite part of that movie is after the principal has sex with Forrest's
yeah,
mom,
and he's like,
and he walks out, and he's like, and he just pats himself.
Oh
and
my
leaves.
god, I did it. I haven't seen Forrest Gump since I was a kid. Holy shit! I
Did
just
you
got
not?
on.
Did you
I
not
just
process that? Did you not?
Boom!
It. You literally had the same reaction she did when she found out you shoulder blasted the door.
I know.
Like it's.
okay.
Did you wait? Hold on. It's been that long, and you've never.
I haven't seen it lately.
Okay. They may take our lives, but they'll never take our
Freedom!
Braveheart.
You mean intergender gender swap Saskia? What?
Okay, you ready?
Yes.
If you build it, they will come.
Field
Field
of
of
Dreams.
Dreams.
That'll do, pig.
That'll do, pig.
Oh,
That'll do.
Babe.
Babe,
And then, tis a flesh wound.
tis but a flesh wound.
Tis but a flesh wound. Tis a
Holy
flesh
grail.
wound. Yeah.
Come back, I'll bite your kneecaps off.
They're here.
Poltergeist.
This house is clear. Come on, Jerry. Show me the money.
Jerry
Jerry
Maguire.
Maguire.
I'll be back.
Terminator.
Oh,
Soylent Green is people.
Soylent Green. I never understood what that meant till way later in life.
Right?
Oh, I know.
There's no crying in baseball.
League of Their Own?
Yes. Yes. I love that.
Why so serious?
The
Dark Knight.
Knight.
Yes, I'm serious. And don't call me Shirley.
Airplane?
There's no place like home.
Wizard of Oz.
Fun home.
E.T.
E.T.
And then this one you guys maybe didn't see, but it's Sally Fields, and she stands up on a table, and she just holds the sign that says Union. That's pretty iconic scene in the movie.
Kind of like the
So is
the boombox.
ah,
Oh yeah.
I'll have what she's having. So is that.
Sleepless in Seattle.
Oh yeah, that.
No, that wasn't
true.
Sleepless. There wasn't.
That is Sleepless in
that
Seattle.
is.
Yeah.
I can't name the movie, but I named the fucking scene.
That's how iconic it is.
That's why it's impactful.
Okay, what about my mother always said I should find a nice girl, and then the shower scene.
Psycho.
Psycho.
Oh yeah.
That actually, like, you may have never seen that movie, but when you talk about the blonde in the shower and the Even this motion, everybody
Yeah.
knows is psycho.
Yep.
Or you're jerking off a huge dick over
Well,
your
that's
shoulder.
true. I said that true. That's true, Goof.
She turned into country Kurt Angle there.
Yep.
No, you know what else is iconic?
What's that?
And you can just make the noise and someone will back it up, except for right now because you gotta do it. Do 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 do. I want
Copyright.
I want someone to go into like an extremely crowded place with a megaphone and just start doing that.
They do it in Dragon Con every year.
We'll flash mob it.
Yeah, that's what basically.
Well, can you guys think of anything we haven't talked about that's iconic, or something that's iconic to you, or impactful? Like if you say that's impactful.
That's definitely deep impact.
Oh God, I'm gonna buy a horse dildo and fuck you in the ass with it. Ow!
Just to hear you breathe.
Oh, what's the Sandlot quote?
You killing me, Smalls?
You killing me, Smalls.
Or I'm the king of the world.
Yeah, I'm the king of the world.
You're not Chris Jericho.
Every night in my dreams.
By the way,
Dear God, my ears are bleeding.
You can't tell me that you still don't wonder, did they call Celine Dion or did Celine Dion call the Deadpool 2 guys? Because you know you want to know which one it was.
I think they called Celine Dion. Well, Kathy Griffin has talked about how awesome Celine is and how, like, her
Kathy
sense of
Griffin,
humor-
who's that?
Stop it. She's doing another tour, and you know what?
Is she?
Yeah.
Okay.
And now suddenly, the political climate has changed, and suddenly she's a hero.
She's
again.
unblacklisted.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's because they realized, okay,
Oh,
she might have been right.
She may have had a point. She may have had a point.
She was also just an angry ginger. Being someone ginger, I can appreciate this.
You shall not pass.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a
Yeah.
good one.
Gandalf.
You shall run, you fool. No, fly, you fools.
Fly, you fools.
Wait, there's also Hakuna Matata.
Is the one
I think
for
Disney
her.
movies like don't count because it's like
Fuck you.
No, I'm saying because they're so
Becky.
that's what they're known for.
Just let it go.
Let it go. Listen, I'll make a man out of you. Let's get down to business.
Did she just?
To defeat.
I think she just offered to have sex
I'll
with
make
you.
a man out of you.
Jesus, Becky.
Are you going to do that whenever I just have some weird to defeat Scoops puns?
I'm so confused now because your girlfriend just offered me
Hey,
sex.
Becky.
She
I'm
did.
just-
No, it's not that time yet.
Oh, it's not.
No, we're not finished talking either.
I like how you tried to accelerate
Well,
it.
it's 10
Yeah.
o'clock. That's why I was
Is it?
asking.
Well, there's also iconic things in music, like Michael Jackson getting his hair caught on fire.
In a Pepsi commercial.
Hey, his crotch
Yeah.
grab.
That's true. Like,
Shimona.
Or the moonwalk.
Yep.
Basically, Michael Jackson.
Lemmy's mole
Mhm.
or wart or whatever that fucking thing
Steven
was.
Tyler's teeth and hair.
And giant lips.
Yeah.
Mainly the giant lips. It's just like
Madonna's pointy booby things. Those are iconic.
Her sacrilegious imagery and like a prayer.
But like her cone nipple
Yeah.
thing boobies.
her cone tits.
Yes. Her cone nipple.
I would like to point out there's all like
Ozzy biting the head off the bat.
cocaine.
Cocaine.
Dr. Roxo, and I do cocaine.
That character would have been vastly different if that was the voice.
I know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it would. Okay.
Nope, you forgot one.
Hmm.
But it goes up to 11. I'm stuck in the pod. This is Spinal Tap, everybody.
That's a good
Here's
movie.
Johnny.
You talking to me?
I'll work a no play makes Jack a doughboy.
Mm-hmm.
Say hello to my little friend.
Ooh.
No, it was a grenade launcher.
You
Wasn't
gotta ask yourself.
No, it was a Tommy
Do
gun.
you feel lucky? Well, do you, punk?
it?
Well, do you?
No, the whole. I like
Do
that.
you?
Was that 5 shots or 6? I'm old. I don't remember. During the Obama administration, I talked to a chair. It's been a crazy life. I played a racist man in Gran Torino.
Well, there's also Good Morning Vietnam, which is the name of the movie,
Good morning, Vietnam. I
but
love
if
the
you
smell.
mention the name of that, the smell of napalm in the morning.
Poof. What do you need? Poof. What do you need? Poof. What do you need?
Can we just not quote Robin Williams right now? It's been a very week full of death that I'm not okay with.
Fair week full.
Fucking
You'll be
Vader,
okay.
fucking Vinnie Paul,
it was,
fucking
it was a long time ago.
in a galaxy far, far away.
You know
Damn
what,
it!
though? I understand, like, Luke, like, the whole, like, Luke, I am your father being a big deal. But I also thought the real fucked up part is when he found out Leia was his twin.
Yeah. And they
Oh
kiss.
yeah, that's right.
That to me was a little bit like, oh yeah, that's awkward. That's like,
your sister.
at least they didn't reach Cersei and Jaime Lannister levels. I guess that's the good part of it.
Yeah,
But
because it was like the 70s and they didn't realize that incest
Or
would
Khal
sell.
Drogo and
Daenerys Targaryen.
yeah,
Cersei and Jaime are worse because they're brother and sister and they banged.
but
Repeatedly
consensually.
on
But-
To the
camera.
point they had kids.
Consensually.
And to the point that they knocked the kid out of the tower window because he saw him.
I thought, oh, okay.
but the Targaryens, their entire family is built on incest.
So is Lannisters.
so is most royal family at that point.
Also, just to end, what is it? L plus R equals J. That was the big reveal in a couple of seasons ago for Game of Thrones.
Mm-hmm. And since you said L, it reminded me of the Bend and Snap.
Ben and Snap.
Ladies, you'll know what we're talking about. And some dudes.
Oh no, there's also do. Do. White girls?
No.
No, that's not iconic.
You gotta hum it correctly. You sounded like
I
the,
can't hum it.
dungeon in Mario.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And I need you.
And I miss you.
Or what about the Zoolander like?
That's not.
Oh,
that-
Ninth Roxbury?
Ninth
That-
Roxbury.
No, the Roxbury, yeah.
I was thinking Blue Steel. What is
Are
this?
you kidding
a school
me?
made
Is
for
this good
ants?
for ants?
I took a picture of me in the shower doing Blue Steel earlier.
Is that what you call your dildo?
Yes.
Interesting. And upsetting. Hi, Becky. What about any video games? Were there any shocking video game? Well, The Last of Us was pretty shocking at the
Yeah.
beginning.
Yeah, the one we've talked about before. What's that? Oh, explosion!
Mm-hmm.
Fuck you, Jack.
Yeah, there's...
Borderlands 2.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I was triggered.
When Bloodwing's head blows up.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Yes. That is very...
Because he goes through all the elements, and then Jack's like,
and it
well,
just
what's
changes the whole
what's
game
the-
to just like, holy shit.
It's literally like, this guy's all right. This guy's an okay villain. I like him.
And then he kills Bloodwing. You're
and then
he must die.
And then he blows up one of the main characters of the last game's head. It just at that point it was a revenge mission. Fuck you.
No,
Let's go.
Don't forget Kratos revealing he's a god, or finding out Kratos is a demigod, and you're like, ooh, and you didn't see that coming. I don't care
Or
who what you say.
Memento, when he gets to the end and he realizes he killed his wife. And he's been making up all these villains that he chases down because he can't develop new memories.
Yeah, because he
So he leaves
tattoos
himself
it on
false
his body
clues.
and stuff.
Yeah, such and such killed your wife.
And then in the newest God of War game,
No, it's Dad of War.
you figure out that your son is Loki.
Loki, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Loki. That's what your mother.
And
wants.
at the very end of the cut credit scenes, you see Thor
Thor
come down.
Well, you did kill both his sons. You did kill Magni and Modi.
Yeah, he's like,
Not even a little. You killed the shit out of them.
Well, in Diablo 2, when you realize Dark Wanderer is your character from the first one.
Oh yeah, that's just like
you start developing suspicions, but then you're like, holy crap.
Yeah, because I was always like, can I play my character from the old one? No, new system. Okay, I understand. And we go on.
And you're the villain.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Yeah, right. And it's just like, and you are Diablo.
Wait. Moreland, here's one. It's me, Austin. It's me, Austin. It was me all along. The higher power reveal. You're like, no, fuck.
Yeah.
The worst fucking angle ever.
The
Could have been
freaking
anybody. And Vince was like, nope, it was me.
yeah. Stupidest thing ever.
It was.
Or the fact that it or the fact that it was Hornswoggle under the ring.
Well, that's because it was supposed to be Mr. Candy, but he had a steroid suspension.
Yeah.
Pumpkin, she's twitching in her sleep.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder how many viewers she's got.
Oh.
Oh.
many viewers in her seat. I got you, baby. I got you.
Oh, you scared her.
You woke her up, you asshole.
Oh,
No.
poor kitten.
No, she was holding my pity. Hi, sweet girl.
You've woken me. Fuck off.
Yum, 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 yum.
Hey.
Becky.
Where can they find us?
Somebody else want to do it since I'm being held down by a cat right now?
Well,
You can
you woke
speak.
her up. You deserve the claws.
Hold on, let me turn my mic. You can find us on Facebook.
You know what I found most shocking?
What? Spotify?
Spotify. You're absolute. The fact that you can listen to us on Spotify.
You know what else I found shocking?
What?
We have an
The
Instagram.
shocker.
The shocker.
I didn't send you that picture, did I?
That is very shocking.
About a shocker?
Yeah, there's a guy. He takes pictures. It's in like on Reddit. He says his girlfriend works at a pharmacy. So on his pinky it says for anal insertion only, and the two fingers got a little label says for vaginal insertion only.
Oh, that's funny.
That's pretty cool.
You can find us on Facebook at The Free Rotation Podcast. You can find us on Twitter at The Free Rotation. We are also on Instagram at The Free Rotation Podcast, and you can watch us on YouTube and Twitch at The Free Rotation. We are affiliate on Twitch, so that means if you happen to have an Amazon Prime,
Spoiler.
yeah, you can check and see if you have a Twitch Prime subscription that you can link, and if you feel like it, you can throw us $5 of your good money and support us even more.
We'll take your bad money. We'll take your mediocre.
We'll take just money.
We'll spank your money.
Just
and
give us money.
We'll spank your money, make it okay.
We just don't want your drug money.
That's exactly right. You can
Well,
also
most of the world's money is coated in cocaine anyway.
Anyways.
you can also check us out on Weeby Geeks. We are affiliates with them. There's also some great podcasts over there at WeebyGeeksPC.com. And if you want to find out more about just last episodes, articles, news, anything like that, we're on the freerotation.com.
.com for those who...
And Becky just released a blog about our last episode, which is worth a read. You should definitely
You mean
check
the
it out.
episode before the last episode?
Yes.
The
Satanic
first
Panic
episode
I'm hoping-
in our
Satanic
rotation.
Panic.
Quit! You're ruining the immersion.
Well, okay, so I'm thinking that we definitely should, or at least try to maybe add a little blog to our episodes at the very end. So maybe that'll be something we do from now on. If we have an episode like this or
I
something.
write this one.
Yeah, like if we have something that comes up that we think about, we
If you
can.
don't want to write it, Becky or I could do it, but
Oh no, I'm holding a
it'd
fart.
be nice.
Okay, but yeah.
Oh no, you'll
but
hear it.
basically, we have like a little bit of our last thoughts, because a lot of times, we all sit here and we kind of goof off and talk about things, but
Then
sometimes
you're like, man, I wish I had mentioned
I
such
have,
and such.
yeah, a lot of times that's what happens. So you can check out mine on the Satanic Panic. And yeah, we can check us out and let us know what you think.
By hookers.
Spoiler alert, I have gas.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
PSA, never be anywhere near Scoob when he has gas.
Can I fart on podcast?
No. Yes, do it. Do it.
Wait.
No,
I'll mic
do
it. Hold on.
No, Scoob, don't do it.
Scoob, no!
Scoob, no.
Just end
No.
it! End it!
No.
Free Rotation Podcast.
God damn it.